Friends, Mumbai Transport has two lifelines. One is the dominant suburban rail services run by the Central Railway and Western Railway. The other lifeline used by every common man is the BEST, that is Brihan Mumbai Electric Supply and Transport Undertaking. Today, Friday, 7th August 2020, is the foundation day of BEST, which is considered as the most efficient local bus service in the country. It was established in 1873, that is 143 years ago. Naturally, it has had a checkered history, and therefore it should be in the fitness of things that AMSI Mumbai AMSI BEST, a voluntary organization campaigning for the protection of interests of commuters in Mumbai, has decided to celebrate the occasion. I am Dr. S.K. Modak, a transport economist, an ex college teacher, ex principal of various colleges, and an ardent activist in this field. It is therefore appropriate that I participate in the Foundation Day celebrations by expressing some of my thoughts on BEST and recapitulating the past, the present, and a little of the future. The present generation of bus users would feel amused to know that the first mass public transport was a horse-drawn transport tramway system started in 1873 and operating means the trams operating between Kolaba and Paidhuni via Crawford Market. It had a stable of 900 horses. Later, electric trams and buses operated during 1905 and 1947. The company passed through various vicissitudes like strikes during freedom struggle, the Great World Depression, merger and takeover of other private bus companies, switch over from direct current, that is DC, to alternate current, that is AC, of electricity, rising operational costs, introduction of natural gas fueled buses, redesigning of bus shelters, revision of the ticketing system, classification of bus routes into four categories, namely regular, express, as route, and AC bus routes. BEST has on few occasions undertaken revision of bus fares to make good rising losses under a facile assumption that it can reduce losses, means by increasing the fares it can reduce the losses. Fares rise, however, led to a loss of traffic and revenue also. Policymakers' calculations went wrong. They were perhaps not willing to learn from wrong assumptions. The whole system remained underutilized. During 2013-18, as many as 900 buses had to be taken off the roads because of loss of traffic. Why did they suffer from poor occupancy? Those who sat on the policy-making standing committee of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation failed to take a holistic view of the situation confronting them. The fares increased to rupees 8 minimum from the earlier 5, 6, 7 was unaffordable to the common man. The unbridled fashion in which motor cars, bikes, scooters, auto rickshaws, and other vehicles were allowed to increase choked the road space in the city, leaving much less space for buses to ply. Buses got jammed in traffic snarls, delaying their movement, increasing their short trips and cancellations. In short, shrinking road space became the main issue, and policymakers had no courage to take measures which could increase space for buses through other means. In fact, the only solution was to limit the number of vehicles on roads, and this could be done only by statutory provisions which required a different kind of initiative. However, no one gave a serious thought to bringing a limit on vehicle population. What was necessary is to think differently. Increasing bus fleet and constructing more roads and flyovers in Mumbai are routine solutions for solving the traffic problem. But unorthodox solutions like limiting vehicles were never thought of. If you can ration consumption of food grains, why can you not ration purchase of cars and vehicles? Starting of air conditioned buses was another questionable decision. It had proved a failure in the early stage only, but obstinate decision makers did not take the initiative to withdraw the scheme. Maybe somebody made it a prestige issue, but ultimately the taxpayer was the victim. All these experiences have a lesson to learn. Decisions taken with genuine intentions may sometimes go wrong, but decision makers should therefore show courage to revise them without delay. And this is what was not done. A happy decision taken last year was the reduction of minimum bus fare from original 8 to rupees 5. The city witnessed an amazing swell in commuter traffic by more than 20 lakhs per day. The aggregate revenue shot up phenomenally. It did not make good all the revenue loss, of course, but it certainly made commuters happy. It improved the bus payload and also the utilization of the vehicle fleet for public good. The lesson to be learned here is not profit but public service should be the main criterion of decision making. At present, BEST and all services are having a miserable time due to COVID-19 effect. But we must know that until recently, BEST was in great shape. It had around 44,000 employees working under it, an annual revenue of 234 crores, a net income of over 63 crores with more than 1800 buses per day carrying loads of happy commuters. Note that the traveling public pays for the service in terms of three costs. One is the money cost, which they pay by way of the bus fare. Two, the time cost, which they spend in terms of waiting time at bus stops and also the trunk movement time of the bus. And three, the discomfort cost, which is borne by the commuter in terms of the crush load inside the buses and the way they have to stand for long to reach their destination. Best should try its best now, especially in the immediate future, to reduce the time cost and discomfort cost of lakhs of its everyday commuters. Thank you for paying attention to this effort on my part to analyze the situation and also show the way the BEST should move in future and make important changes in their policies. Thank you very much.